Inside the Parker on the Herd Podcast Network, the baseball stuff, a Hall of Fame voter joining us via the Coward Global Satellite Network. All right, the Mahomes contract. I hear you're not happy with the Patrick Mahomes contract. Why, Rob?
You know what? It was more sizzle and steak. When you see that number, you say $503 million. Wow, he hit the jackpot. But, Colin, when you dig deeper into it, you realize it's only like $160-some-odd million guaranteed up front. There's no out for him. There are quarterbacks like Teddy Bridgewater and Ryan Tannehill who make more money than him over the next 3 or 4 years. And here's the bigger thing, the takeaway. He was supposed to be the trendsetter to set the market. He was so good and the face of the NFL that he could have been the guy to say, I want a fully guaranteed contract. I'm going to be that guy for the rest of the players in the NFL to look and say, he won an MVP. He won a Super Bowl in his first 2 years as a starter. He had all the leverage, and he gave it up for nothing. He took an also-ran contract. There are guys in Major League Baseball who are laughing to think that he's the face of the NFL and all the money, and guys are making way more than him, double him as far as guaranteed money. Sure, it looks good on paper, but it's not a real $503 million. The difference between baseball and football, Mike Trout's going to get all 426. He'll get every nickel. There's no guarantee that that Mahomes will get all his money. That's the big difference.
Well, but what about a salary cap? You can get other good players. It's about winning, not just filling your bank account. How much money do you need? What about that argument?
I think I hear that argument all the time, and I don't think it's real. Owners don't take a discount. I hear the salary cap. That's not Patrick Mahomes' concern. That's what they pay the people in the front office to figure out. If that's the case and getting other players, then how in the world did Sammy Watkins have to take a pay cut to stay in Kansas City if he freed up money for them to sign good players? And the Tom Brady argument as well. The biggest knock is that they never went and got him any other players, but Tom Brady was taking pay cuts. And they didn't win all the time. The Patriots and Tom Brady went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl, with supposedly Tom Brady making these concessions for his team. It doesn't automatically equate to winning. You should get what should be your fair market value, and let the team figure that other stuff out. I don't bank on anything that Kansas City's going to do, and you can't rely on anything in Kansas City other than some good barbecue when you're down there. Other than that, I'm not buying into it. They went 50 years without winning, and now I just turned over the next 12 years of my life without an out. What happens if Andy Reid retires or the team is sold and some cheapskate owner comes in? You're screwed, Colin.
No, you make some interesting points. All right, I got 3 minutes left. I got to ask you this. Kenny Smith says, I love LeBron and everything, but it's so much easier to score now in the NBA. And to that I say, players are bigger, stronger, faster, more rested, better nutrition, better trainers, better athletes. You got to chase centers around the floor now because they can shoot 7-footers. It's not that it's easier to score. It's that players make it look like it's easier to score because they're so skilled now. What say you?
I'm with Kenny Smith. Are you kidding, Colin? You can't even hand check or touch anybody. We watched the Michael Jordan documentary. Did you see what the Pistons and the Knicks did to Michael Jordan when he went down? Those weren't flagrant fouls. Those were regular fouls. It was no big deal. Now, are you kidding? You can't touch anybody. Everybody has a free path. People are given open looks much more. I think it's way easier to score. It doesn't mean that they're not good, and all the points you make are good. They are bigger. They are faster. They are stronger. But they don't have the same defense that they have to deal with that other great players. I think if Steph Curry played in the 90s, it would be totally different the way he would be banged around and pushed around, which doesn't happen now. These guys are skilled. They're great, but it is much easier to score.
By the way, Jim Harbaugh says we didn't create COVID. We're not going to end it. We should play sports. As long as the students are going to class, why can't we play football? Your thoughts as an adjunct professor at USC?
Well, I'm going to be teaching this semester online and not in the classroom. And I don't know. I think Jim is doing a disservice to to the players. Of course, they want to play. They're football players, but football's just not that important. The difference between being in class 2 chairs or 3 chairs away from your classmate and being on top of another player, tackling and sweat and saliva floating around and all the other stuff where you can get COVID. It just doesn't make any sense. And if the kids aren't in the classroom, right, and the football players are a part of the student body, they shouldn't be playing football. You see what they did at the Ivy League and some other conferences around. Watch, they'll wind up canceling the sports because you can't guarantee the kids' safety. And it should be about safety. I understand. We all love football. We all love sports. I'm dying for it to come back, but I want people to be healthy.
Yeah. By the way, how much you pay for that beautiful sports jacket?
5,300. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I'm reading the tag wrong. $53.
That's incredible. Rob is the most frugal human I've ever met. It is. 50. That's a beautiful sports jacket.
$53. Hey, you know how I got the money to save to buy this is because I bring my own tea bags to the airport instead of paying $4 for a cup of tea.
You do that, don't you?
I do. I absolutely do.
Do you make your own coffee?
I don't drink coffee. I'm just a tea drinker. But
is there a minute left? Is there anything you spend money on? What about your car? You have a nice car?
I have a very nice car, but I had a couple of used cars first, and I saved up and got a nice car. But I'm willing to spend money on good stuff. I have a very nice watch that costs a lot of money, but for the most part, I'm cutting corners on all the other stuff.
All right. I'm looking behind you. There's some pictures there. It looks like very expensive art. No, that's just a picture you took in Antarctica.
No,
okay.
You see that picture right there? Can you see the one from Egypt right there?
Yeah.
That's from Egypt. Papyrus paper. I went to Egypt.
How much it cost you?
That was a great trip.
How much it cost
Wonderful.
you? Yeah.
About back then in the 90s, it cost me about $5,000 to go.
All right. There's Rob Parker, the most frugal man in America, and we love him. Thank you so much, Rob Parker. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.